Clifford's tower doesn't look like much at first. It's just sitting here, on a hill, slightly detached from everything around it. But it's what's left of York Castle. And for centuries, this was the center of power in northern England. Not symbolic power, but actual power. This starts in 1068, right after William the Conqueror takes England. The North resists repeatedly, so William builds a castle here. It's vast and it's functional, a Motte and Bailey style, which means an earth mound, a wooden tower, and a defensive perimeter. They're easy to build and easy to defend, but they're very difficult to ignore. Because this wasn't designed to impress people, it was designed to stop rebellion. And almost immediately, that is challenged. In 1069, a rebellion in the north, supported by Viking forces, York is attacked. The castle is damaged, possibly even destroyed, and William responds with the Harrying of the North, a campaign so severe entire areas are burned, crops are destroyed, populations reduced. Northern England was effectively reset. Then the castle was rebuilt stronger and more permanent. So this place didn't just start with conflict, it was built because of conflict. Then in 1190, one of the most significant events tied to this site happens. York's Jewish community, around 150 people, take refuge inside of the castle tower. Outside, a mob gathers. Tensions escalate, negotiations fail, and rather than being captured, many choose to take their own lives. The tower is then burned. So this isn't just a defensive structure. It is a place where fear, power, and violence all converged. And that moment is still remembered because it changes how this site is understood. It's not just a castle, but it's part of a more complicated history. But the tower you see here now, it wasn't that one. That one was wooden. This one is clearly stone. It was rebuilt in the 13th century under Henry III of England around 1245. And the design is unusual, you might notice. It's a quatrefoil, which means a four rounded section joined together. From above, it's almost like a clover shape, which is not very common in England. That is why it stands out immediately. So, even by medieval standards, this was not normal. And the stone changes everything. It's much more difficult to destroy. It's far more permanent. And of course, it's far more expensive. This isn't just a tower, it's a royal stronghold. The treasury was stored here, records were kept here, military controlled bases here. And at times, it was effectively the administrative center for the North, which means decisions affecting the entire regions took place inside this structure. So when you think about it, this isn't just about architecture, this is also about governance. But over time, its role changes. Military importance declines. The need for control sure doesn't. So then it becomes a prison for criminals, debtors, and good old political prisoners were all held right here inside of this fortress. Because once a fortress stops defending territory, it starts holding people. These same walls, but with a far different purpose. Then, in 1684, an explosion, likely from gunpowder being stored inside. That tends to happen with gunpowder. The interior is completely destroyed, leaving only the outer shell, which is what you see today. So, this ruin that you see from the building now, it's not just from erosion and time, it's damage from that very moment of the explosion. Now, this is the largest surviving part of York Castle. Everything else, the outer walls, the additional buildings, they're all gone, or they've been repurposed, or they've simply been absorbed into the city. So, what you're looking at here now isn't the whole castle, but is the last piece of that castle. And then there's the mound. It's entirely artificial. Built by the Normans, it's just earth piled up to create height, because height will give you visibility, and having visibility gives you a strong advantage. And from up here, you can see anything approaching, which matters very much when your entire job is about control. So the hill is not natural, it's all about strategy. And from the top, you see the city's structures: rivers, walls, streets, and just across, the York Minster. Because here, religion means power, both dominating the same skyline. So this is Clifford's Tower, a place built to control the population. It witnessed conflict, tragedy, and governance, and it's still here. But it's not just what's left of a castle, it's what's left of how power used to work. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. And what did you find as the most interesting bit? Also, special thanks to all my members.